People, I'm your boy Stefan, and we're here talking just general football chat, our views and opinions. So today I'm here with
Manuel.
Ed, big Liverpool fan. You know the.
You see him in the Liverpool top. Might have to burn it, but we kick straight off into. We go straight on to our topics, and we're going to talk with the man of the hour, the man of the week, Marcus Rashford. Now the big question.
Let's go.
Everyone's been talking about really is he overrated or underrated? What's the question? What's the answer? What do we say?
You know what? As a United fan, I think you should go first. I want to hear what you have to say about this as a United fan.
Well, like I said, as we've spoken during the week, and as I said, for me, it's all hail King Rashford right now. He can't do anything wrong. What man do you know saving lives on a Tuesday, scoring hat tricks on a Wednesday? Tell me something. And everyone, the question was always put to him that could he do both? Could he save lives and score goals at the same time? And right now, for the last 2 weeks, I believe he's shown that. Can't really beat that at the minute in time.
What you're saying, what Rashford is world class, or where would you rate him in the tier of football?
I wouldn't call him world class. Right now, though, he's in terms of football.
Career, what would you say? Where would you put him? Would you say he's amongst Neymar and?
No, I wouldn't put him amongst that. I wouldn't put him amongst that. I think he's still got a way to go. He's still young. He's still developing, but he's developing a quality game at the minute in time. Right now, he's our top scorer, deadly in front of goal. Deadly in front of goal. 16-minute hat trick. And on top of that, he's selfless. He let Martial take the penalty as well when he's on a hat trick. You can't. I'm sorry, I just can't. I haven't got a bad word to say right now.
Everything you're saying about him right now, Steph, I hear that. I respect it. And first of all, let's separate football from politics. What he's doing, first of all, unmatched. Like, he deserves to be knighted. He has my full respect, and I'm sure he has the respect of the whole country. Like, there's certain things that are just bigger than football. But my whole issue is, yeah, he's been good for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not just taking that from him. But he's been very inconsistent. And I just feel like what he's done outside of the pitch is giving people a reason to make him, to hype him up better than he actually is. So let's not get it twisted. After lockdown, I can see Rashford has only had 2 or 3 good games after lockdown. And after 2 performances, what we do in this country, yeah, he's doing great off the pitch. But now we're saying he's this, he's that. And even last night, I was watching BT talk about him. You would think they were talking about the second coming of Ronaldo.
My views on it is just like, yeah, he's a good player, but in terms of like top tier and where everyone's putting him at the top, like what all these pundits are saying, I just don't put him. For me, I don't put him up there yet. But can he get there? Yeah, but I don't think in his career he's shown consistency yet to be up to that level. Can he? Maybe we'll see.
Don't get me wrong, he's got the ability for sure. But the thing is, I want to see him do it over the course of a season before I can start putting him up there along your Manes of this world, your Salahs of this world, your Aubameyangs of this world.
No, and I agree with that. But me and you have also had this conversation where you've put. It's the same with Martial. Like you say Martial had a better season than Rashford last season, when Martial only scored 2 more goals than Rashford. So
he did.
Get me, that was Rashford's first season, I think, where he scored over 20 goals.
Yeah.
First season where he scored over 20 goals. So for me, he's just led on from what he was doing last season. Yeah, he had a few off games, but who didn't? Who didn't have a few off games at Man United? In the last end of the season, Man United, in terms of, there was a whole point where the whole team was just burnt out. The whole team was just burnt out. So what we're seeing now is a man that's everything's going good for him on the outside, which means everything's going to go great on the inside, because he's at the top. Nobody can take him down, but not at the top of the football, top of the abilities.
I just
he's got Forest on the rope, so that's why he's got all that confidence.
Yeah. When you've got, but that's what I'm saying. When you've got the nation's president on the ropes, prime minister on the ropes, like.
Yeah, I just hope though. My only thing is, I just hope what's going on outside of the pitch, they don't end up using it against him, because our media has a very big thing about doing that. Like, fair enough, what he's doing is amazing, and he's doing good on the pitch now. My question is, what's going to happen when he starts doing not so good on the pitch?
But this is the thing, though. This is where we as people, and as young people particularly, have to protect that. We have to protect him as a person.
I get what you're saying. We have to, but at the same time, we're the same people that are putting him on this mythical pedestal. Like, he's a player that he's not right now. Like, don't get me twisted. I don't think he's overrated. I don't think he's underrated. I just think he's a very good player, and he's got a very big potential and a very big future. And if he stays consistent, I have no problem putting him up there. But what I don't like is the fact that after last night and last week, you would think this guy had scored 40 goals a season.
But I don't think. Do you know what I think it is, though? I think it's not necessarily that. I think with and this is me reflecting on both of you, with the Champions League particularly. Both of you were very quick when that group came out to go, Man United have no hope.
I swear, I think that
do that. Both of you were very quick to do that. So it was like, now it can't work like that. And he's shown up. He's turned up for both of them.
Yeah, like I'll always. Rashford has always turned up in big games for me. The thing is, I'm not. People might think I have an agenda against him. When he does good, I will say he's done good. But the only thing is, I'm very skeptical what we do here in this country, where a player can have 2-3 good games before you know it. I heard something on Talksport now. He's been compared to Neymar. It's like let's just say he's done well. Let's get some consistency out of him first before we start giving him all these titles.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that, definitely. But right now, he deserves the title he's getting of great player, great form, in terms of he's leading on the country aspect as well as on the football pitch as well. So he's doing both.
I'll give him that. Fair enough to the kid. Let's hope we can keep it up.
Yeah, and that's it. Manny, you got anything to add to
that? No, not really. I echo what both of you guys are saying. Like, he is a great player for now, but let's hope he keep it up.
All right. We'll move on to our next subject. The next subject is Klopp. Now, is Klopp the best manager in the world?
Yes.
Go on, Eddie, go first.
The thing is, I'm going to tell you why this guy's the best manager in the world. This guy came from Dortmund to Liverpool when we was on the ropes. We had Martin Skrtel at the back. We had Kolo Touré at the back. We had players that were just below average. And look what he's done with that team, with that going out and spending excessive amounts of money. He's gone out to get a team to play in his own image. And now that team is, from the trophies, he's won the Champions League, the Premier League. He's done something that no Liverpool manager has done before. Delivered a trophy that no manager has delivered in terms of the Premier League. He's put Liverpool back on their perch.
Yeah, to be fair, I echo that as well. Because in terms of top managers, like who would say Zidane, Pep, Klopp. I just don't think those two guys right now are better than Klopp from what Klopp has produced for the last 2 or 3 years at Liverpool, especially working with what he's got. So I think he's definitely the best manager at the moment.
It's hard to. Do you know what?
Oh, you got something to say, Steph?
No. Here's my thing. If we're talking about currently the best manager around, you'd probably say Klopp. If we're talking about overall best managers in terms of if we just put the managers down and go, who's the best manager? Klopp's not the best manager for me. That has to be Jose.
You know what?
Is this over career then?
Yeah, for me, in terms of like best manager in the world right now would be Jose Mourinho, just because of what he's done, where he's been, and what he's achieved.
Yeah,
he's achieved it in 4 different leagues. He's won stuff that people didn't expect him to win.
You're saying Jose is an overall better manager than Klopp will ever be.
For me
More
personally, right?
The more Champions League.
Exactly. Like, because the way I look at it is Klopp has done, don't get me wrong, what Klopp has done at Liverpool is absolutely amazing. You can't beat that. But in terms of winning the league, Leicester have done that as well. Like, that was more amazing. Like, what would be more amazing now? What would make me solidify Klopp as one of the best or one of the top managers right now is if Liverpool go and win it again this season. Then I'll be like, all right, cool.
You know what about Klopp? The reason why I would say, not just because I'm a Liverpool fan, the reason why I would put him above maybe a Mourinho or Guardiola, like, I've always personally felt like Guardiola has been in situations where it's been impossible to fail. Whereas with Klopp, when he came to Liverpool, it was harder for Klopp to succeed at Liverpool. It was easier for him to fail with the way the board works. Even at Dortmund, it was easier for him to fail. And even when you look at Jose's career, when he went to Chelsea, he had an open checkbook. He went to Madrid. He went to Inter Milan. They were probably the best team in Italy at the time. I'd give him ratings for Porto. Fair enough. He done his thing there. Won the Champions League. Done his thing. But with Klopp, I just look at Klopp as someone that he gets players, makes them superstars. He doesn't necessarily buy superstars. He makes them superstars. Like, look, if you look at the players that came through Klopp, we're talking about Aubameyang, Lewandowski, Gundogan, Mane, Salah. These are all players that Klopp has made superstars. You know what I mean? Whereas the other managers have gone into teams where they've already had superstars.
The only thing I would question is Klopp's ability to manage a superstar team. Because like you've said, he has to build superstars. I don't believe, like, we talk about these people like Pep, Mourinho, Zidane. They walk into a high pressure situation where Klopp turned up at Liverpool where it was like, like, let's see what he can do. Anything's better than Brendan Rodgers.
What he has done from what Liverpool was, I remember they had like a proper lull from their highs down to where it was a few years ago. They were not at the top of their game at all. But when he came in, I thought he did like a really good job turning that team around. And it was a big job to be there.
But he had 4 years to do it.
Yeah.
He was given the time. Whereas these managers that walk into those jobs, so your Mourinho's that walk into like Manchester United, your Peps that walk into Man City, they expect deliverance of trophies that same year. Klopp hasn't experienced that sort of pressure. So how can we compare him to them when he's not been in that environment?
For me, I'm just looking. I get what you're saying with that. Obviously, it takes a certain manager to go to a top side and keep them a top side and win trophies. I think maybe I look at managing differently. I look at if you can go into a club that was down at the dumps and you can elevate them. That's why I'll always have respect for Fergie, even though I'm a Liverpool fan. He went to United. He literally built United. Even Wenger, he went to Arsenal and built Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? For me, I have more respect for managers like that than rather than managers just go in situations where they're given a lot of the things, like with Pep, open checkbook City, £600 million spent on defenders alone.
Don't get me wrong, like, spend the money he spent on defenders is ridiculous. Everyone will say the same, it's ridiculous. But I think there's a different type of pressure from walking in knowing you've got time than knowing that you have to deliver today. And I question Klopp's ability to handle that pressure. That's what I say. That's my question.
I guess we've never seen him do it, but maybe I don't think that's the kind of manager he is anyway. I think he go into clubs where he's the underdog.
Exactly. But then for me, like, can you class him? I get he's taken the not necessarily crap teams, but the less stable teams and building them up to a point. But can you class him as a top manager that can go in and make a change there and then?
I don't know. To me, I just don't feel like that's like a fair point to say whether he's world class or not. Like, I think like what Edward's saying is like what he's done, especially Dortmund. Didn't he take them to a Champions League final?
Yeah.
Like,
won the league twice.
Won the league twice, and like I just think that's a really successful manager in my eyes. And what came came to Liverpool, built them up again, got them to the Champions League final twice, and then the year they lost it, Mo Salah went out injured, so it could have been 2 for all we know. But from what he's done, I would class him as a really good manager. Like,
I'm not questioning him as a successful manager. I'm not questioning that. I believe he's
not better than Jose.
I just don't believe necessarily that is he the best manager in the world right now? Potentially, but Liverpool ain't even doing that great right now. There isn't a team right now that are doing that great apart from Bayern Munich across leagues. If you look at what there ain't, like, I don't look at Liverpool playing week in week.
He's the best manager, couldn't they? They just won the Champions League last year.
Yeah, technically, if you want to go technically like that, he would be the best manager. But I don't know much about him because I've never. And to be honest with you, I feel like he's in a situation where he doesn't really have to do much. Like that Bayern Munich team, when you look at it position for position, he doesn't really have to do much.
And also with Bayern Munich, it's easy for them to dominate the league where every year they get in the best players from all their opponents in that league. So obviously they're going to dominate the league, and it's obviously going to be easier for them to dominate in Europe as well. Because when you're getting the best talent from your rivals each year and crippling them, of course your team's going to be good and do well in Europe.
Yeah, so I don't really look at that, but I look at the Premier League, and I look at like Klopp, and I look at Liverpool, and I look at every team, to be fair to you, and Man City look like a shadow of the former team that they were at this minute in time.
To be fair, we wanted to have a competition about who the best manager is at the moment. I would probably say Ancelotti, really. And people forget about him. Like, this guy's won numerous Champions League trophies. He's won like league trophies in every country he's been in. He's the most successful manager in European football history.
Yeah, I think people forget about him because he's at Everton, but he's got Everton playing at the moment. So, like, I think if he was to get Everton top 4, then
or even win the league.
I don't think Everton will win the league. That's just pushing it. That is pushing it.
Our next topic.
That is pushing it. That is pushing it. Literally.
That brings us nice topic.
That does bring us nice.
Who is going to win the league?
Well,
go on, Seth.
Well, as much as I hate saying this, I still think City will win the league. I think City will come good in the end. As long as they can sort out the defending, there's just too much quality there. I feel like the Van Dijk problem, and now Fabinho problem. No Van Dijk, no Fabinho, and you've got to rely on, Reece Williams or something like that? 18-year-old. I don't think that's going to pay well for you guys, particularly with Gomez being your main centre half. It could be a season where Liverpool are forced to outscore teams in order to win games.
Yeah.
Realistically, I think Leicester may have a chance. Like, no one's talking about them, but from what I've seen, like, they've already got the championship pedigree to go win it again. Like, no one's talking about that. Like, they are champions. They could go on another run for all I know. So I'll definitely say, are they going to win it? Maybe not, but are they up there? I'd definitely put them up there, especially with Jamie Vardy.
Do you know what though?
You can't discount them.
I have to, bro, because they're bottle jobs. After last season, they're right behind Tottenham in terms of bottle jobs. I'm sorry.
But if they sort out their problems like that, like this season, they're a good team.
But this is the thing, I can't see them sorting it out because they got roasted by West Ham, I think it was the other day. Like 2 weeks ago. Roasted.
Yeah.
And Brendan Rodgers is...
But didn't they roast City?
Yeah.
It was City 5-1.
This season, I think this season, why I'm saying Leicester is just this season, you don't know it. I think it's a very open book. So it's going to end.
I agree with you. And what are you saying, Ed? What are you saying? Well, I'm guessing you're going Liverpool.
I can't see any further than Liverpool. The only reason I say Liverpool is because, like you said, it's going to be a season where we're probably going to have to outscore every team. And with our front three, I know we can do that. Yeah, we might concede 4, but we're probably going to hit you 5. And one thing I've learned about Klopp, he knows how to adapt his play. Like, I think he's learned that the path of adapting his team based on what the situation is. So I think this is the season. If we go on to do it this season, we have to start having conversations about Klopp seriously. If he can take this squad now into a title and a good Champions League run, we need to have those conversations about Klopp.
Yeah, no, I agree. If he can get you lot to win the league, yeah, a real conversation will be had in terms of how good he actually is, or whether he deserves to be like one of the greatest in class as one of the greatest in the Premier League or in the world right now. I just don't see it, simply because I feel like Van Dijk will be a big miss.
Yeah.
Getting Alisson back when he's fit again will be a very good thing for you guys, definitely, because Adrian's a whole red flag in general.
Alisson played overnight.
Did he play the other night?
Yeah, no, he's back. He's back now.
He's back now. Well, that will be good because, yeah, Adrian was doing some madness.
So, all in all, to conclude, we've established Liverpool are the best team in the world. We have the best manager. Rashford is overrated. No, I'm joking. So, Steph, I'll let you wrap up.
We got a few minutes left anyway, so I just wanted to get into that. I just wanted to get into one more point, and I think it was Pep. Do we think this is his last season at City? The manager, obviously, we've heard I don't know if you lot have heard what's happened at Barcelona, but they fired the sporting director, or no, the owner or whatever, and they have the president. That's it, the president, and they're having a revote, and the guy Victor Font wants Pep back at Barcelona.
One thing I will say is, if City aren't successful this season, whether it's winning the Prem or getting Champions League, I think this will be last season. I just don't see how it's another season with all this failure, especially from last year's Champions League, and the way they went out. That was terrible. So I think this is going to be his last season to be successful.
And let's be honest, they bought Pep into win the Champions League, and he hasn't delivered. It's that simple. He hasn't delivered. Yeah, he's won the Premier League, great. He's won the Carling Cup 4 times, great. But we all know they brought him here to win the Champions League, and the way he's kind of gone out in every year has been a bit embarrassing, really.
So you think then that this is it, like Champions League? If he doesn't win the Champions League, he's definitely gone, or he's definitely gone anyway.
The thing is, I don't think they'll even sack him. I think he'll just walk.
Well, his contract's up at the end of the season, I believe.
Another thing could be long shot. If City do win the Champions League, the league on high and goes back to Barca, that would be every tale.
If he does that, he gets that monkey off his back that he's never won a Champions League without Messi. He gets that off his back. But at the moment, people question him the fact that he's never won the Champions League without Messi and Iniesta and those players.
So in the long goal, do you guys both see him back at Barcelona then, as the manager at some point?
I would say no, because Barca are not the same Barca they were when he first got there.
So what you're saying, he just doesn't want that challenge anymore.
He does, like, for me, I think when the going gets tough for Pep, he panics, he stresses, and he doesn't know what to do. Whereas other managers, I feel like, thrive under pressure. Whereas with Pep, it always has to be smooth sailings to a sense.
Yeah,
that's it's best when it's smooth.
Yeah, I think.
Look, last year they got drawn into a title race. They bottled it completely. The year before, credit that they went all the way with Liverpool to the last day of the season, but in the Champions League they got absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah. To be fair, they should really have won the Champions League last, or not even, or got to the final, I should say. Not necessarily won. They should have at least got to the final last year. They should not have
easily
got out where they got out. But I think that's the big question on everyone's mind now, because the guys come out saying, "Oh yeah, Pep, we want him back at Barcelona," and I actually think he'll end up at Barcelona personally. I think his family live there, close to home. Like that's just what he classes as home, and I think what he's done previously there gives him like brownie points, gives him the stance that he can go in and ask for the players that he wants.
Yeah.
So
and if it's a challenge, it just depends. Because let's be honest, That's a rebuilding job. That's not a job where you walk in and do what you've done and sit at Bayern Munich. You're gonna have to go in and build this team from the bottom.
But even at Bayern Munich, like he pulled down Bayern Munich and then built them back up again. Because you got to remember, he had man like Philipp Lahm playing centre mid.
But he also had man like Lewandowski in their prime.
Yeah, to be fair, he did underachieve with that Bayern team from what over the years there. I think he went out in like 3 semi-finals. Was it?
Yeah, he did go out in a few semi-finals. The Champions League just seemed to be his Horcrux. He just can't. It's his problem. It's his problem, literally. Boys. Well, that's it for us. That's it from us today.
From week 1. Stay again for more content. Steph, shout out the socials.
Thank you for joining us. Follow us on Football on Demand at Instagram, on YouTube as well. You'll find the link at the bottom of the page. And we will see you next week.
More content coming soon.